Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, August 31. Approximately 84,400 persons regained employment as at April this year, following the loss of over 151,000 jobs during the initial stages of the COVID-19 pandemic in July 2020. The preliminary figures were released by Dr. Wayne Henry, Director General of the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ. It's from the PIOJ's April 2021 Labour Market Survey. Despite the positive outturn, the period also saw a decline in the employed labor force by 40,500 persons relative to the same period in 2019. No survey was undertaken in 2020 due to COVID-19. However, Dr. Henry says the data is not comparable because of seasonality factors, especially when compared to January 2020, when Jamaica recorded its pre-COVID-19 employment high.
It is important to note that employment levels have increased since July 2020. As the economy gradually reopens, pre-COVID employment levels should be attained in fiscal year 2022-23.
The overall unemployment rate in April was 9%, which was 1.2 percentage points lower than the corresponding period in 2019. To reduce the cost of fertilizer to farmers, the Ministry of Agriculture has engaged Newport for Sand to develop new formulations using cheaper inputs. Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says the cost of fertilizer continues to threaten the growth trajectory of the sector while negatively impacting farmers' ability to produce. He says the decision to develop new formulas came out of a meeting with Newport for Sand to look at their challenges and see what was driving the increase in costs.
A lot of the costs that are being increased are being driven by what is happening on the worldwide market. And the companies have said to us that their input costs have significantly increased, most by more than 100%. And as such, the freight cost has also increased by over 100%. So it's a challenging scenario, but I want our farmers and fishers to know that we're going to be working with the input providers to see how we can ease that burden.
In addition, Minister Green says a team will meet with the various livestock associations to see how the ministry can provide some direct intervention to soften the burden of the increasing cost of feeds. Jamaica is leading the charge to significantly improve the Caribbean's response to existing and emerging cybersecurity threats. The country is now undertaking a strategic cybersecurity training needs assessment. This is to identify the knowledge and skills required to deliver and sustain strategic responses to malicious cyber activities across the region. The initiative will also inform the building of cybersecurity scholarship and talent to serve the country and the Caribbean. The needs assessment was launched on Wednesday during a two-day virtual Caribbean Cybersecurity Skills Symposium. Minister of Education, Youth and Information Favour Williams says it's a timely initiative in this increasingly digitally driven world and given the global reliance on information and communication technology. She contends that it's a critical step in addressing the cyber skills shortage that affects the Caribbean.
A report published in June this year stated that the cybersecurity skills crisis continues on a trend impacting over half of large organizations. At the same time, companies are incurring steep costs from data breaches with an average of $4.24 million per incident, and I think that is US dollars, and that is a nearly 10% increase over 2020. Against this background, there's an obvious need for qualified experts within the region to aid in a successful fight against cyber crimes, and this cannot be overemphasized.
Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang says government will continue to lead this process of improving national and regional cyber resilience and response through education and other measures.
Cybercrime is a clear and present danger to all security in all nations of this region, but in particular to our small nation, Caribbean Islands. This is the new frontier of national and regional security resilience, an area in which the government of Jamaica is deeply committed.
The Strategic Cybersecurity Training Needs Assessment is a significant action under the revised draft National Cybersecurity Strategy of Jamaica. And finally, some simple case matters could soon be tried at lay magistrates' courts across the island. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says his ministry is seeking to have additional simple matters shifted from the parish courts. He says arrangements will be made to facilitate this following discussions with Chief Justice Brian Sykes. The minister was speaking on Saturday at the virtual staging of the Lay Magistrates Association of Jamaica's annual Golden Scale Awards presentation.
The Ministry of Justice is very keen to have more matters being dealt with in the Lay Magistrates Courts. And you have my assurance that I and the Ministry of Justice will work not only to strengthen the existing lay magistrates, but to invite as many others to participate and to become lay magistrates in each of the parishes.
He says the ministry is looking to establish offices for lay magistrates in the restorative justice centres across the country. A lay magistrate is a justice of the peace, JP, trained in criminal law and procedure, and acts as a judge in a court of law that deals with less serious offences. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.